The Spokane Indians are a tribe of Native Americans centered in Welpinit, Washington, with other locations all across the nation. For years, the Spokane Indians, in their earlier presence, inhabited very large amounts of land and fished in the rivers. The tribe has gone through many hardships and losses throughout the years. The locations and populations have evolved in a number of ways, both losing and gaining. Land has been taken away from them from both natural causes and also from people forcing them out against their will. As the Spokane Tribe of Indian website writes, in earlier times, the Spokane tribe lived on, protected, and respected over 3 million acres of land. The Spokanes lived along the river in 3 bands, known as Upper, Middle, and Lower Spokane Indians. The traditional campsites were lived in depending on the seasons of the year. This quote describes the tribe's mass amounts of land and how they lived. The Spokanes were primarily hunter-gatherers. In this presentation, you will learn a great deal about the Spokane Indians and the tribe's interesting and informative past.
The Spokane tribe lived on an almost 3 million acre stretch of land near Washington up until January of 1881. In 1881, the Spokane tribe was relocated to their new reservation by Rutherford Hayes, the 19th U.S. President. The tribe was mainly a fishing tribe throughout their history, using the Spokane River and the 3 sections of this river, Upper, Middle, and Lower. The tribe now lives on a 157,376 acre section of land known as their home, or the Spokane Indian Reservation. The tribe is about 2,879 people and is still growing to this day.
Throughout the history of the Spokane tribe, their interactions with the outside world have changed their ways of life. For centuries, they used dugout canoes for river transportation. In the mid-18th century, they'd acquired horses, which allowed them to travel much greater distances and hunt larger game. In 1800, the Spokane tribe had their first contact with the whites. They were fur trappers, sent by the explorer David Thompson to spend a winter with the tribe. The tribe soon became more involved with the outside world, opening trading posts and were often contacted by missionaries. The biggest impact of the outside world would most definitely be the Indian Removal Act of 1830. This government decree forced the Spokanes from their native land, but they did not move until the 1880s. Before they moved, however, smallpox and other diseases introduced by the whites heading to Oregon country had wiped out a majority of the tribe. Later on, they became involved in several wars against the white settlers until they were defeated in 1858 after a streak of several victories. This defeat caused them to move to the reservations, which they were then forced off of by the Dawes General Allotment Act, which sold the reservation land to the whites. In 1942 and 1953, the Grand Coulee and Chief Joseph Dams cut off the flow of salmon, which decreased their use in their traditional foods. Limited food, land, and their extreme location have contributed to a very high unemployment rate of 41%. To quote the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian, and you know what the worst part is? The unhappy part? About 90% of the deaths have been because of alcohol. This quote shows the effects of alcohol and poverty on the tribe's people. Every interaction with the outside world has had its benefits and its drawbacks. Few interactions with the outsiders have ended with the tribe having an advantage. Most interactions with the outside world have often led to death or loss of land.
The pros and cons of this project. The pros and cons of our form of visual aid. The pros were that it was easier to put together. It required a good amount of information, which allowed us to learn more about our topic. Videos allow the audience to see the reader and understand more about what is going on. The cons were that it was more time-consuming. Finding time to work together in person was difficult with group members because it was harder to match up frees, and it was a little bit harder to get in person and have more personal hands-on interactions. We also have limited editing skills, so making us expand our horizons and find out more about how to really make the video. The pros and cons of our communication method, which was messages. The pros were actively communicating group members retained more information by hearing the directions and each group member's ideas. Easy communication occurred when group members actively checked messages. And communicating helped all group members to understand the work and to plan better. It allowed us all to unite and just have a better experience and make a better project. The cons were not all members actively communicated. Some members didn't check very that often. The amount of communication was less than it could have been. This kind of relates to the one before, when not all members actually communicated, it just lowered the amount of communication in general. And finally, holding conversations was slower.
The Spokane tribe has a very unique and intricate history that is full of negative influences triggered mostly by a chain of events that was caused by interactions with other peoples. The Spokane tribe originally lived a more primitive lifestyle before they were encountered by people from the outside world. These people took advantage of the Spokane and robbed them of their land on multiple occasions. In the novel The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, Sherman Alexie describes an accurate portrayal of what a Spokane Indian's life may be like. Alexie includes the negative attributes of life on the reservation, but he also includes a sense of hope for a better future through Junior. In short, the Spokane tribe has experienced many losses and inconveniences in their time, and therefore should be respected for both their diligence and their tolerance.